Okay.
You know about the miracles in the Quran?
Give me an example.
So, for example, God said in the Quran that, um, just a moment. So, God doesn't like. So, it's explained exactly in the Quran how an embryo is formed into like a human being in very specific details, not something that some guy 1,400 years ago today would know. There's a lot of scientific miracles. Can you name anything on the top of your head?
Yes, God reference. There's a reference made to the Big Bang. There's the fact that bees have more than one stomach. There is there are endless scientific miracles where people being explored and being studied like years, like centuries after the Quran was revealed.
So you believe that there's scientific evidence that proves that there was knowledge about science before they had that knowledge available to them? So you believe it was supernatural?
There's multiple instances, and they're only the Google search away.
So if you were to find information in the Quran that contradicts modern day science, would that make you doubt the Quran?
No, isn't science ever changing?
Right. So then you're doing a double standard then,
No.
because so in one sense you're saying
No.
that
Science can be right, can be wrong.
okay. So
That's it.
It's not the only reason.
okay, but we're just gonna stick with the scientific evidence because you use that as a foundation as your faith, right?
One of the
But
many branches.
but you can't use it only when it's convenient. And then if you find something that
I totally get that. I'm just saying that it's like a bunch of pillars that hold my foundation. So this is one of them. From the way I took in my religion, and the more I explored it, and the more I read, and the more knowledge I gained, the stronger it became. All of those things, they're true, and none of those things, like once something is proved through science that it existed, or like the Quran proved it, it's never been invalidated before. So your point is totally valid.
Okay, so if science contradicts something that's written in the Quran, then would that make you doubt the Quran?
No.
So how can your foundation be based on scientific evidence if there is contradictory information? It will not make you doubt.
Our foundation is not built on scientific evidence, but this is one of the many things that increases our faith.
Yeah.
So, for example, many different things, and then
It's like,
in addition, like scientific.
I'm sorry, like if you're a child and like you have your parents, if your dad buys you a new car, you're gonna love your dad, like you're gonna appreciate your dad more. That doesn't mean that your dad not buying you a car is gonna invalidate your whole relationship with him. It's gonna make you hate him. No, like it's based on that. It's like, okay, this makes me believe more in my religion. It strengthens my belief, but it's not my foundation. By no means it's my foundation. It's just one of the tools that God has used in order to prove his existence to us, because that's the only way basically to preserve this over 1,400 years.
But wouldn't you agree that if you use scientific evidence as argument for the authenticity of the Quran, then you have to also accept that if there is information that is contradictory to modern day science, then you cannot no longer use that argument to validate your belief in the Quran?
We're just gonna go like in circles if we keep doing this. Like if you keep saying that and then I keep trying to explain it, like we're not gonna go anywhere.
Modern day science is ever changing. Some of it could be right, some of it could be wrong.
Right. Well, so if that's the case, you cannot use scientific evidence.
Okay. Even if we completely discard scientific evidence, we can talk until tomorrow about what makes our faith so strong.
Okay. So other than scientific evidence, what is another foundation of your faith?
So linguistic miracles within the Quran, the structure of it.
It's just the fact that it was preserved. Like no book all around the whole world that you can find the same copy of all around the world. There's not two different copies of the Quran. The one I'm talking about, the one in Arabic, of course, because the translated versions can differ based on translation. But the Arabic one is one specific book that's never changed, whether you open it here in Montreal or you open it halfway across the world in Thailand or whatever.
Also, I don't believe there's a scripture which you can theoretically burn every single copy of. If you theoretically burn every single copy of every scripture to ever exist, you will have the Quran back within around less than an hour because of how it's preserved in people's minds. Everyone, like, we have millions of people who memorize Quran. Any other scripture, and it would be, some of it would be lost.
Are you familiar with the history of how the Quran was transmitted and passed down to us?
Yes, we do.
And so you're aware. Sorry, are you Sunni Muslims?
Yes.
Okay. So you accept Sahih Bukhari as authentic?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you're aware that in Sahih Bukhari it gives us information on how the Quran was compiled and how they decided on the one version that that Uthman accepted?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you would agree that in the beginning there was differences in opinions on which versions of the Quran were authentic.
Okay.
What do you mean?
So in the beginning, Muhammad had companions that he trusted to recite the Quran, right? Like Ibn Masud, Ubay ibn Ka'b, Zayd, and Uthman. He asked Zayd to compile one version of the Quran, and then he commanded the Muslims to burn every other version. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Yes, the version that was agreed upon by everyone that was like from the Prophet's companions.
But are you aware that there were companions that were not in agreement with Uthman's version?
It's possible, and it's at the end of the day, it's a human effort, which will definitely have people who disagree. Could happen. No worries.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm not like entirely sure about this. What you're mentioning right now could be true, could be not. But for me, I believe, like, listen. Here's the thing. If you can try to convince yourself as much as you want of anything in the world, and you're gonna end up believing it. Like, some people might believe in Islam not because of what it really stands for, because they've just tried to convince themselves of that. The way I think about it is, I'm looking at everything that's given to me right now, okay? I'm assessing every single one. I'm telling you, if you genuinely look into the teachings of the Quran, they all make sense. They all are there to preserve humanity, even if there was no afterlife or there was no God. If you follow the Quran by the book, you're gonna live an honorable, a peaceful, and a happy life. And I stand by this, and nothing in the world can make me change my opinion about this, because I've lived it firsthand, I've experienced it. I've been down both paths. I've seen how not following it looks like, and I've seen how following it looks like. And I can vouch for anyone that's watching this, that if you just give it a chance, wouldn't hurt. Look into it. If it doesn't have the answer to everything that you're looking for, then come find me.
Okay, so couldn't you say the same thing about the Bible?
The Bible, what I know of the Bible is the authenticity of the scripture in the Bible is around the same level of authenticity, or is actually around the same level of as the tafsir we have in the Quran that is compiled by early scholars of Islam. You do not. Many of the people in the Bible that have given us the teachings and sayings of Jesus have never met him. For one, I think.
Can you say that again? Many of the
A few of the. I'm not exactly familiar with the names, but the people who relate Jesus' teachings to us.
But listen. One point I can say is that you can still say this about the Bible, okay? Like, in essence, the main values of, like, okay, like, treat everyone with respect, treat everyone nicely, don't steal, don't kill, no lust, all of that stuff. That's all.
No, of course,
that's all the same.
We have a lot in common.
Yes, that's all the same in its core. But I'm telling you, no religion in the world, like he mentioned in the beginning, specifies how you should live your life, down to, like, the most simple details, up until, like, the biggest stuff which are shared between all religions, or like Abrahamic religions, except for Islam. And if you follow those small, like, very small details that Islam tells you how to live your life, you're gonna live an honorable life.
At the end of the day, we have so much in common. The only thing we disagree about is, you say Jesus is the Son of God, we say he's a messenger, and that is all we disagree. But we in essence, we worship the same God, and we call to the
it's
same
not about
God.
disagreeing. Like I said, if you
We have
follow
more in common
Islam,
and we have differences.
following Islam does not invalidate any religion before it. But following the other religions invalidates the existence of Islam, which to me doesn't make sense because it's evidently there.
Where can I watch this later?
you could write my name, Andrew Cho. Andrew space CHO. Yeah, I'm on every platform, so you can find me. Yeah.
It was nice talking to you, bro.
God bless you, man. God bless you. Thank you for your time. God bless.